Bonjour les enfants. Today we're going to do a couple of interesting things. We're going to talk about Paul Cezanne again. And of course, you remember the lovely story that we read about Paul Cezanne and his little son, Paul also, the apple boy. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a couple of songs just to get us into the French mode. And then I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about Paul Cezanne, show you some of his beautiful paintings, and then you will have a photograph of a bowl of fruit, and you're going to use your crayons on a big piece of white paper, and you're going to do the same thing just like Paul Cezanne. And that is called a still life. Anything that you paint that doesn't move, like a living room, like pieces of fruit, vegetables, perhaps a jug or a glass, a table, that is called a still life. So let's start with Bonjour mes amis. 1, 2, 3. Bonjour mes amis, bonjour. Bonjour mes amis, bonjour. Bonjour mes amis, bonjour mes amis. Bonjour mes amis, bonjour. Très bien. Okay, and what about our new song? The little snail, le petit escargot. Très bien. Alors, 1, 2, 3. Petit escargot porte sur son dos sa maisonnette. Aussitôt qu'il pleut, il est tout heureux. Il sort la tête. Petit escargot porte sur son dos sa maisonnette. Aussitôt qu'il pleut, il est tout heureux. Il sort la tête. Très bien. Bravo les enfants. Les animaux d'Afrique, ok? L'hippopotame. L'hippopotame. Et dans la rivière, in the same river, le crocodile. Le crocodile. Très bien. Oh, oh. Le singe. Le singe. La girafe. La girafe. Très bien. Maintenant, les animaux chez nous, at our own home. Le poisson. Le poisson. Miaou. Le chat. Le chat. Oh, wouf, 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 wouf. Le chien. Le chien. Tweet, tweet. L'oiseau. L'oiseau. Et voilà les animaux de la ferme. The farm animals. Le cochon. Le cochon. Mou, mou. La vache. La vache. Né, né. Le cheval. Le cheval. Coq-a-doodle-doo. Le coq. Le coq. Très bien les enfants. Now we're going to look at the story that we read about Paul Cezanne. And I'm going to show you some of the paintings, some of his beautiful paintings that are in many museums around the world. Because remember, he invented a new way of painting. We read that in the book, didn't we? So here is a painting of one of his trees, like a cone. Remember, a lot of things that Paul Cezanne painted had different shapes. So a cone, we spoke about a cone. He also did squares, and those were some of the houses that he did. Squares. Let me show you another one. Here we are. Squares and rectangles. I know that you'll remember this one because there was something very similar in the book. Look at the tree like a cone, and then in the background there's a train with a bridge, and that was the train that little Paul took when he went to join his father for the summer, remember? And most famous of all is his mountain. What color was that? He called it his Blue Mountain. And there it is. And he painted that over and over again. I want to just show you another picture of the Blue Mountain. A very lovely painting. All right. Also, Paul Cezanne was famous for his still lifes. See the fruit there? And another one, his still lifes. And then there's one that's very big. There it is. Lots of fruit in bowls, perhaps as you saw with a jug, a glass. And different other objects, but always a candlestick perhaps. Now you are going to draw or use crayons. You're going to create your own still life. And I'm going to show you here the basket of fruit that I've arranged for you. And you will have your own photograph of that, from which you'll be able to paint, use crayons, or just draw your own still life of fruit. We're going to look at some of the fruits now. I know that you know this one because we sing a song about it. Remember? Pomme de renette, pomme d'api, tapi, tapi rouge. Pomme de renette, pomme d'api, tapi, tapi gris. Très bien. And this is la pomme. Let's say it. La pomme. And usually apples are red. La pomme rouge. That's the color. You've done it before. Rouge. Look at my lips. Rouge. La pomme rouge. But we also get apples that are green and yellow. Yellow, just like this beautiful pear. La poire. La poire. And the word for yellow in French is jaune. Look at my lips. Jaune. La poire jaune. So now we know what yellow is. La pomme, la poire jaune. Très bien. Now I'm going to show you, which might be a new fruit for you, a pomegranate. And inside this pomegranate, there are lots and lots of little seeds. And those seeds are delicious. They look like little rubies. You know, a ruby is a precious stone, and it's red and shiny, just like these little seeds. So we want to learn how to say this. If you don't know it, a pomegranate. Do you hear the pomme in it? It comes from apple, but we call it a pomegranate. In French, we say it like this: la grenade. Let's say that. La grenade. La grenade. And that means a pomegranate. So we've got all our fruits, and you know, you can add different fruits and vegetables if you would like. You could add onions, because Paul Cezanne also did still lifes with onions. You could add a jug or a glass or a bowl, an extra bowl. You could put a candlestick or just a candle. You could put a box. You know that Paul Cezanne loved shapes. So whatever you would like to put in your still life, you can add that on your own. But remember, children, you will also have a photograph of the basket of fruit for your still life that I've done for you. Très bien alors. Bonne chance, that means good luck, because you're going to, when I leave you, you're going to be able to do your still life in your own time. You'll have your piece of paper, you'll have your paints or your crayons or your, what do we call those? They're like an oily pastel, that's right, pastels, or simply colored pencils, and you'll be able to create your own still life just the way Paul Cezanne did. So we're going to say au revoir mes amis, sing au revoir mes amis, and then we'll be on our way to do our own still life. Un, deux, trois. Au revoir mes amis, au revoir. Au revoir mes amis, au revoir. Au revoir mes amis, au revoir mes amis. Au revoir mes amis, au revoir. Bravo. Merci. Au revoir.